So quiet. That's right. Well, hey everybody, thanks for coming to an evening with Side Dish. Welcome to Longmont Public Media. My name's Tim Ossick. I'm the community manager here at Longmont Public Media. And this is the beginning of our 2025 member drive. So we are live streaming this event. I know this may be, there's people on cameras and it looks intense, but we need you to be more loud and less quiet. So feel free to have fun and be loud, unless you're like playing with rappers or talking to your neighbor. Don't do that. But everything else is good. So this is the beginning of our member drive. It's a week-long event. We're doing a ton of cool free classes, events, classes on cameras, classes on podcasting. We're doing karaoke night, which Aldo, who's running VMix back there, will be hosting, and a ton of other cool things. So go to longmontpublicmedia.org/memberdrive to learn more about that. And in the meantime, I think it's time to start the show. We are so excited. This show is a wonderful celebration of the cool things that happen here at Longmont Public Media. There will be some music, comedy, interviews, locals, all the amazing stuff. And it's hosted by the amazing, let's make a very warm welcome to Side Dish.
Mic check.
Check. Hi! Brady, I think we've been promoted.
Yeah, this is like a big change.
We're above ground.
We're above ground, yeah.
Normally
Usually it's like the Morlocks in the LOI where you get the time machine. That's a deep cut, if anybody's ever read H.G. Wells. Usually, they're just like, no, you guys just don't. Just
stay down there.
And be quiet when you go down the stairs.
Oh,
because there's like sophisticated people up here. Don't be slamming around.
Yeah, no.
Don't
We're normally relegated to the basement, but we get to be here today. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no.
So, this is Side Dish.
So, hello and welcome to Side Dish, your podcast about Longmont. Wow. Everything that you want to know sometimes, and very little that you need to know. I am your host, as always, Brady Snuffle, joined, as always, by the intrepid
Andy Larner.
There she is. We're loving it. It's going to be a great night full of fun, fantastic, fanfare, whatever else, because we're going to, like I said, musical guests, somebody to help coordinate actual guests, which is just remarkable. Usually it's like,
Who you got?
It's 3:15. Can you get anybody down by 4? Which is our sophisticated way of getting things done. But tonight we're going to be joined by Kelly Dressman of Dryland, who's going to talk about some cool projects they got going on. Andy Eppler's back there, not to do music. He's just going to be on for colored commentary about the community, as far as I understand. Should be a whale of a good time.
It will.
Yeah, like I got to tone it down with the old the language.
What? Bad language?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
It's after 5.
Yeah, right.
It's just get going, and then we also have musical guest Tribonacci Trio, which is fantastic.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much, guys. I heard you warming up, and I was like, "Wow, this is a thing. This is sophisticated. I'm not used to having a thing. Usually, it's like record it. That's fine. Let ChatGPT do a blurb. It's fine." So anyway, it's the Longmont Public Media member drive this week, and we are members.
I know, we're members. That's why we get to do our cool podcast here and help promote this cool event. Longmont Public Media, I think everyone here probably is somewhat familiar, but is a publicly funded organization that offers totally relevant, hands-on skills for creatives, and I think they would call themselves a makerspace, but honestly, I think it's relevant to just all amateurs, blokes like us who have no idea what we're doing but want to share some stuff, and I can't believe how cool this resource is that we have here right in our community. Member Drive is to find more members, so if you know people out there that might benefit from this, it is very expensive. $30 a year. Yeah. Just so you know. So it starts at $30 a year. I think we're on that.
Well, you can bid that up if you want.
You could bid that up. You get podcast studio, TV studio, equipment, and access to all of what they have here to offer for $30 a year. So if you join as a member this week, you get a special tote bag.
Oh, yeah. Do they have extras?
Special discounts, so pay attention to that. And I guess without further ado, and thanks to everybody who is volunteering. I met Eric, I met a few other people who are awesome volunteers. this is a very skilled position to be playing with all this expensive equipment, lights, camera, action. So shout out to y'all crew and Nathan and Tim for putting this together. Y'all are so cool, and we're so happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys. And they come bail us out sometimes. We're in the basement going, what's all this buzz? I don't know how this
They
works.
bailed us out this week.
It's way too, yeah.
We don't know what we're doing.
So,
Yeah, I mean, the podcast studio down there, I mean, as dark, and I would say I would repaint if it were up to me, but they have sophisticated equipment, a cool roadcaster I learned about, which records everything and mixes everything, and then...
What are the colors down there?
What are they, what?
What are the colors down there?
I don't know.
Is it
I
like
mean,
teal and gray?
like aqua,
Yeah,
gray, millennial gray and aqua, and some black curtains. It's kind of bad.
Yeah, and then you just pull the big black curtain around everything.
Yeah.
And it's
Works though.
It's the most inviting place you'll ever be. So it's a lovely place. So you want anything you want to mention about
You
town
got any
before we get going?
buzz around town?
I mean, I know that
Buzzy buzz?
we're talking about this whole grain project that's going on, so we'll have Kelly Dressman up to talk about that.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
we'll talk
gonna
about
be
that
awesome.
buzz. I know we botched that when we were trying to talk about it the other day on our actual podcast.
Oh yeah, don't facts. Don't.
Can we have a Sundance minute?
Yeah, take a Sundance minute.
All right, I know I talk about Sundance a lot, but it's very interesting and relevant, I think, to Longmont Public Media. I think LPM is in a great position for Sundance coming to this community, and I think all of Longmont's performing arts community and arts community is potentially in a good position, although I do think the verdict is out. This is a little personal editorial, but I think the verdict is out on whether Sundance will truly benefit the arts community. You know, because the not so generous take is that it's very corporate. There's a lot of money, and they're coming in, kind of like descend upon, and then move out again, like Olympic style. It has all this impact, and is it environmentally, like there's all kinds of impact that you could argue isn't necessarily a net positive. Potentially, I don't know. So we'll see with the arts community. But I'm more bullish, as you know. I tend to be.
You love
more on the positive side.
Yeah, you like it when
I
stuff
think
happens.
I think the impact economic is going to be amazing. So anyway,
Yeah.
a couple things. There was a cool presentation from Visit Boulder in Longmont recently. I know probably Longmont, some LPM people were around there for that. And a couple interesting tidbits that I didn't know about before that were that they said, first of all, 120,000 people come in for this festival into town. That's what they get in Park City, and they expect it to be more like 180,000 because we're bigger and we can accommodate that. But it's not at one time. The festival's over 1 to 2 weeks. I think the festival itself is 1 week, and then people come in and out all the way leading up to it and afterwards.
That's
And the peak number of people is only 30,000.
Oh, that's
Like
not
at
it.
any one time, and that's probably around the premieres. So the premieres, there's 12 premieres that happen the first night of the festival, and that's when all of your Hollywood stars and everyone comes into town for that part, and then they trickle out over the next couple days, and then everybody stays on who's just more hands-on and involved in the filmmakers who are being played later on in the festival. So I think 30,000, at least in Park City, was the peak, and that might be a little bit higher here. So it's not like 180,000 new people are here in Boulder County at any one time. So I thought that was interesting. Two, they were saying that one of the ways that they won this bid, because this went out to a bunch of different markets, but one of the ways they won this bid was, I guess prices were just getting jacked up. There was a bunch of gouging happening with venues and with hotels when people were going to Park City, because it's kind of their peak season for...
I was going to say, this should surely have no impact on the secondary rental market at all. in the
Well,
area.
okay, and so the two things, they were saying that hotels in Park City were gouging, $1,000 a night for just even B and C hotels. It was really annoying, and so Boulder committed to this program where they got all of their 20-something hotels in Boulder to agree for the entire initial 10-year term to block 70% of their rooms and have a fixed rate for that entire 10-year term. So $300 or $400 instead of $800.
Is this like a binding thing, or is this
It is
like
binding.
A,
No, they all agreed to it.
Mom, I promise I'll be a good boy. Promise so much.
Exactly. I don't know, but we'll see how it. But that was really important to them, and they're encouraging Longmont to do the same thing with their hotels, because
Sure.
obviously it will spill out. And then I guess with Airbnbs for the short-term rental, they're offering this special festival license where if you don't necessarily have your short-term rental license in general right now, you can get a festival license. And if you sign up through this third-party platform that will market you and do all the cleaning and booking, this is a company that goes to Olympic cities and does the same thing.
Oh,
and so
wow.
they will put you on the Sundance website, your listing for your house, and do manage the booking, manage the cleaning, and issue the festival license.
So do you have to sweep up like all of your own roaches before? No, you could go either way. It's Colorado.
I know.
You got people coming from all over the United States
Right.
or wherever.
Or like put your kids' pictures away. I don't really know how you, but if
Or
you
they-
want to
yeah,
participate in
after.
that, pay attention to this like third-party platform that will be set up. I guess the bid's going out for that now.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
That's more than a minute on the Sundance
I know. I'm
Minute.
sorry. There's more. We could talk about the, historic Stanley Hotel that changed hands recently.
Yeah,
and
that happened.
It's well positioned for the Sundance. I mean, I think that was in the works for a while, but now with Sundance, it'll be interesting.
And in completely other news, I heard that the doggy daycare closed.
Yep. That was Wolf Logic out
Wolf
there.
Logic.
Yeah,
Was
on the Diagonal, I think.
I don't know that one.
I heard some people lost some money on that
that's too
ordeal. I don't
I
know.
lo- I
Did
love
you ever
mo-
go to that one?
No, we just went to Rocky Mountain Kennels. Yeah, took our two idiots, the big brown one and the smaller black one, up, and they had a lovely time. And when we came back after traveling, they were tired and spit covered, and then slept and left us alone after we drove back from the mountains, which was about as good as that could have gone. So, no text messages from them saying, "Hey, your delinquent dogs have somehow messed everything up." I guess they've handled. So recommend there. So no, haven't had them.
Go back. Yep.
Yeah, I'd go back though.
Nope.
Yeah, I love that.
Over there at King Soopers, the King Soopers Shopping Center on North Main. So
Yep.
21st to 23rd. It's called Horizon Park Shopping Center. It's been
Did anybody know that?
It's been on the market for a while, and then it traded hands. Well, you do if you, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
They're really corny, but
No, yeah. I mean, it's always like the names that they come up
I don't
with
know
is
if like this is the new buyer who owns it now, but it's actually into public hearing now in terms of its development application process, and they're going to divide that parcel into 7 new parcels, new legal parcels. And I believe the idea will then be to just then you can have pads and you can actually develop, you can put more, fill up that parking parking lot. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good
They
thing.
could plant a
but
tree up there. I wouldn't
try to
mind.
revitalize all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than anything's better than parking, and of course, if you want to build a new building in Longmont, you have to do a lot of green space around
Which
it.
is
and everything.
nice,
So
yeah.
yeah, well, I think you will get more trees.
That's lovely. I
Yeah,
always
there you
forget
go.
where that one's at because I'm like,
All right.
"Can I keep driving?" So I think that's the buzz. That's what we
That's
got.
what we
right?
got. All right, what's next?
Well, next up is the Tribonacci Trio. Yeah, so they will join us for I believe this is one of their own. And I put that somewhere else. So you got the name in there. Take the other one. No, it's not gonna.
All right, you guys can introduce it. Hey, give a warm welcome to the Tribonacci Trio, local Longmont band.
We got a Longmont local bluegrass band that began as a back porch jams, and the mics quickly developed into something more, as I understand it. Got my name here. What's the name of the song?
This is an original called Westbound.
And I heard you guys warming up. I'm actually pretty excited for this. It should be a ton of fun.
The direction we probably maybe won't be going during the Sundance Film Festival with 80,000 people on the road.
Waking up before the dawn, frost spread out across the lawn. Grab my boots and then I'm gone, and I'm westbound, yeah, westbound. On the highway, right on track. Can't slow down, no time to slack. Going now, no looking back. And I'm westbound, yeah, westbound. Just can't wait to see my friends, driving slow around the bends. Don't know where my day will end, and I'm westbound. Yeah, westbound. Coming up over the pass. Will this drive forever last? Will I run out of gas? Who knows where my road will go when I'm westbound? Yeah, westbound. Pull off the road to the setting sun. Settle in, my day's done. But my mind still travels on, and I'm westbound. Yeah, westbound. 'Cause I'm westbound.
That was amazing.
Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you so much.
Do we
Hey,
start
that was
now?
a original
Yeah,
piece,
yeah.
right?
That was an original piece. Matt Stallard, my husband over here, the mandolin player, wrote that song.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell me about this microphone.
This
Is
is
it-
Myrtle.
This
got a
looks
name.
special.
It's from Ear Trumpet Labs. They're a highly skilled acoustic lab instrumentalist, and Myrtle's really good for capturing acoustic sound. It's a condenser mic. Matt could actually probably. I said the words. I read the manual.
It, it also reminds me of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Which, like, goes a long way for me.
Basically, we just saw the bands that we loved, and we were like, that's a really fancy
Yeah.
metal thing they got in front of their faces. Let's figure out what that is. And now we have a fancy metal thing in front of our faces, and so now we're among the greats.
Captured your beautiful voices perfectly.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, wonderful
Thanks,
harmonies.
y'all. We'll have you back on here in a
And I
minute.
love your shirt game.
Yeah, pretty.
So I mean, game recognizes game, right?
All right, well, we're super excited to welcome Kelly Dressman to the stage. Come on up, Kelly. You get your own special mic. All right. Kelly is the brand director and a partner at Dryland Distillers. And help me, I always say Dryland Distillers. Is it Dryland Distillery or Dryland Distillers?
It's Dryland Distillers. 3 words. Dryland Distillers.
Yes, got it. Nailed it. Okay, so you've been with them for a while.
Yeah. Yes. So I helped them open in June of 2018.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Long time
Seems like,
ago.
yeah.
You've been along for this exciting ride. And go ahead and give us a quick overview for those who don't know about Dryland, what they're up to, but we
Okay.
really want to talk about your recent project.
All right, awesome. So, yep, Dryland Distillers, we're right on Main Street in Longmont. We are a small craft distillery. We make everything from original ingredients. We try to make all of our spirits in as sustainable a way as possible, and that kind of leads into this new project that we are doing.
So y'all just bought a building.
Yes,
What's
we
the
did.
building?
We acquired a building that's right on the corner of 2nd and Collier. It's like a couple doors down from Summit Tacos.
This is the paint, right?
Yes, it was an old
what was it?
paint
Valor,
building.
vulgar paint?
I don't remember.
What?
Catch up.
Yeah, no, I
2nd and Collier.
I'd only know
Yes.
if Dutch Brothers is the.
Yeah, I can't remember. Whatever. Start with a V. Some sort of paint store. Green and white. And
Yes,
you bend around
exactly. And
that
there's
corner.
there's some office space there, and then there's a couple different warehousing areas and an outdoor space also.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Still on like the border of the changing industrial area.
Exactly.
A bit, right?
Yeah. So it's like right next to the granary building that is going to eventually be a food hall.
And what are you going to do with this building?
So, like I said, we try to make all of our spirits in as sustainable a way as possible. Our most recent flagship spirit that we launched was our Rhyme and Rye, and it's made with all regenerative, organic, certified grain. So basically, in order to make the spirit then also regenerative, organic, certified, we have to have an entire supply chain from growers to malters to grain storage as well as milling. That is all organic certified. So that is a part of the project.
What does regenerative mean in this
So
context?
basically, regenerative farming practices include no-till, cover cropping.
Is this where you let the chickens run around and?
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
animal rotation, that's exactly where I was about to go.
It's
with
a
it.
fancy way of letting chickens squirt all over the.
Basically,
Yeah.
distilled down to a way of saying it is basically you're working with the soil instead of working against the land,
Or like
whenever you're doing
spite
it.
of
So
it.
it's not, you have diversity of crops. You don't have monocrop with lots of spraying. There's no fungicides or herbicides that are a part of it. And yeah, you take the soil's microbiome essentially, and you work with it and make sure that the soil is as healthy as it can be, and then therefore your crops are as healthy as they can be.
Okay, so you try to supply from farmers with regenerative practices. Like,
Exactly.
Is permaculture in the same category?
It is, and as well as like biodynamic, but regenerative farming practices are the next big thing, and the qualifications for it are the most stringent in agriculture right now.
Is it like
So
an FDA certification?
it's the Rodale Institute right now, and I think that there's
What's the
there's-
Rodale Institute?
um,
Rough. Let's
like
pretend like I have no idea. I wouldn't know if you were telling the truth or
so
not.
in the agriculture world, they are pushing the limits as far as what the best, most sustainable way of doing things is in the farming community.
Sure. And so why is regenerative farming, why is it a big deal now?
So I am going to recommend that anybody who's interested in this watches the movie Common Ground, because it's amazing. It goes not too in-depth, but in-depth enough to talk about why it's so important that we move in a more regenerative direction. Essentially, with how we have done industrialized agriculture in our country, not only is it terrible for the soil, but it also creates lots of pollution with all of the different machines that you have to use, the gas that's associated with it as well.
Sure, you've got things running
all
off
of the
into the
different-
soils, and as you till, it releases carbon dioxide. et
Yeah,
cetera, et cetera.
exactly. And so for example, whenever in the film, actually, they switch a farm that is using conventional farming practices into a regenerative farm, and the carbon in the soil goes from 2% to 8%, which is huge in sequestering carbon.
So where are your suppliers, your farmers?
So our main and the only regenerative organic certified farm in Colorado right now is Jones Farms Organics in the San Luis Valley.
Okay. And do you
Yeah.
try to supply from or source from
yes.
them most
Yep.
primarily? Okay.
Exactly. And then there are 2 more farms that I believe are on their way. I can't remember the name of one of them right now, but it's in the southeastern corner of Colorado. And then we are working as well with Villicus Farms in Montana. We're just starting out that relationship.
So, and then what'll happen in the new building? Is this like a let's go
Yeah,
go down there, or is
so-
this gonna stay out of here? I got my broom and it'll get worse.
everything. I mean, we just started getting drawings back from the engineers, but essentially what we're hoping to do is have not only grain storage and then also milling and also an expanded distillation production area, but perhaps even a malt box, which would be huge. And and then we could just have everything there. We're also going to have a test kitchen. So we're putting in a commercial kitchen, which will be very fun. We're hoping to have, we're hoping to have different guest chefs and or members of the Colorado Grain Chain come in, hold different seminars, that kind of thing. And then the Colorado Grain Chain will also have
that's a great,
offices there.
yeah, the grain chain.
Yeah, the Colorado Grain
I'm
Chain.
into that,
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, the Colorado Grain Chain, for those of you who don't know, is a nonprofit that puts growers in contact with bakers, malters, brewers, and distillers. So anybody who will use the grain.
What's a malt box?
So we work really closely with Troubadour Malting up in Fort Collins, and I went and toured there one time, and malt boxes can be like huge industrial sized.
Oh, not like a.
Yeah, so it's essentially like the size of this room, and it has these crazy sprayers that go underneath all of the grain, and then it has what's called like a false bottom, and that can fall away if it needs to, and so it's like it drains all of the liquid off. But essentially what you're trying to do with the grain is get it to just start to sprout.
False bottom sounds like a medical procedure.
I know. Our,
Aesthetics only type thing.
And then with the storage, is this a need you're filling in the market?
Yes,
like to store?
Exactly. So all of this is a need that we're fulfilling, because there are other distilleries out there that just don't have the means to have the entire supply chain that then they could contract distill with us.
So you will work with other distillers.
We will
to
also
provide.
work with other distilleries, yes.
Wow.
And so if they wanted to do a regenerative organic certified product, then they could come, we could use all of their specs and then produce the spirit and then give it back to them.
So White Ghost produce or whatever.
White Dog?
Label.
White Label, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. White Label.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we could also do that.
Are you going to move the tasting room over there?
So
Or
no,
expand the tasting room?
We will keep our tasting room and craft cocktail lounge exactly where it is, but we will have a small tasting room on location.
So this
there.
would be like a bespoke event.
It will be it'll essentially just be neat pours only.
Yeah.
And then actually adjoining is this huge outdoor space, and we're very excited to utilize that for different events.
Your own events, private events, third party, whatever
exactly.
events.
Okay. Lots of events. Lots of farm to table dinners. And then outside of that also, but I'm really excited for the farm to table dinners.
I know, because you've been playing with
Yes.
cuisine now for a while, it seems, and you guys probably want to expand that. And,
Yeah. Exactly.
One more.
Yeah, I've got
question
one,
on
but
tap.
I just.
Go.
Oh no, I guess my last question. Did you bring any of that rye?
I did not. I
What?
wasn't sure.
It was
I was like, "Ooh, well, I didn't get the memo about BYOB. Otherwise,
Next
I
time,
definitely
we'll make
would've-
sure to
I
include
would've
that footnote.
brought
We'll
a
hold your feet to the
bottle
fire
and-
next
okay,
time,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
That's a good. Yeah, no, this is.
I know, it's super exciting. Timeline. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's a long timeline.
I know, you're doing a lot there.
Yeah. Yes, we're doing a lot. We are hoping to get started by the end of the summer, and we were hoping to have some of the outdoor space available for events by the end of the summer. We're gonna have to wait and see if that's the case, but definitely within 2026 things will be fully rolling. At least are getting some of our production space up and running there.
I super look forward to that. I could enjoy a neat pour.
Yeah.
That sounds-
What's your favorite cocktail right now?
My favorite cocktail that's on right now is I'm gonna say the strawberry beret, just because it's so tasty and it's in season and it uses our Antero wheat, pure or organic strawberry puree and muddled basil. Yeah. Yeah, and like a demerara syrup.
Sweet.
Yeah, I should probably leave the house once in a while. It's as tempting as anything
worth
to get
it.
me off my butt doing something else. I'm in my garden, leave me alone. Oh. Dryland, eh?
We do to-go cocktails too, so you could take it and then drink it
bring
in
your
your
glass.
So,
made for you.
what time are we done? Can you phone ahead?
Well, thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
This is a huge step in your journey over there at Dryland.
Yeah,
I'm so
we're
impressed
really
with you
excited
too.
to be a part of that neighborhood as well, and
Yeah.
everything they've got
Yeah, that's
going
going to
on.
be
so.
huge. Anchor everything of South Main Station all the way east. So
Yeah.
well done.
Awesome. Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having me.
being here.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
so
give
much.
Kelly a hand. All right, folks, we get to hear from our friends, the Tribonacci Trio. Get on up here.
The next one they're doing is called Bourbon Hound. It's, as I'm told, a Della Mae cover. I'm not quite so sophisticated to know.
An all-lady bluegrass band that we're
Yeah.
told to check out.
We had to do a song about bourbon because Dryland Distillers, I fondly say, was my gateway whiskey into actually liking whiskey because my husband's family all drank whiskey and I was just not quite woman enough yet for that. And the heirloom wheat was the first whiskey that I truly fell in love with.
It's,
So
it's pretty good.
we're doing a song about bourbon for Kelly and our friends at Dryland Distillers. So close. Got to retune the room temperatures
Yeah,
and
these
such.
mandolins like to just go wherever they want to go. Ready? Yeah.
Why don't you swing it on back, make another old fashioned, stir it up right for all that dancing, baby, won't you whirl me around? You know that you're my bourbon hound. Jefferson will set you up right, and Booker takes you home for the night. Little Buffalo trace my feet off the ground. You know I'm dancing with the bourbon hound. Why don't you swing it on back, make another old fashioned, stir it up right for all that dancing, baby, won't you whirl me around? You know that you're my bourbon hound. Jameson for the morning Joe, I'm a whiskey girl too. Now don't you know, little bullet for the old pass around. No, there's nothing like a bourbon hound. Why don't you swing it on back, make another old fashioned, stir it up right for all that dancing, baby, won't you whirl me around? You know that you're my bourbon hound. Fox and the hound went out one night, got into a great big fight, took a draw of the jack and fell onto the ground. You know there's nothing like a bourbon hound. Why don't you swing it on back, make another old fashioned, stir it up right for all that dancing, baby, won't you whirl me around? You know there's nothing like a bourbon hound. When you're on your feet, you don't want to tire. It helps to have oil, nip a fire. Old Pappy will lift you off of the ground. You know that you're my bourbon hound. Why don't you swing it on back, make another old fashioned, stir it up right for all that dancing, baby, won't you whirl me around? You know that you're my bourbon hound. That one goes a little better when you've had a shot right before it. We all got those wiggles.
Little loose for the goose. Yeah, so I think
Ready
we're
for
going
a
to be.
bourbon?
Yeah, me too. Nobody brought any.
I know. We'll take care of that later.
As I understand, we'll be right back after this commercial message.
Nope. We're going.
No, we're skipping it.
We're going on.
Oh,
Onward.
we're just cruising
Hang
right
with
on.
us, folks.
Yeah, we'll hang loose. Well, I was told we were going to have a commercial break in the middle.
No.
But, well, I just thought it'd be super fun to be like, and now
we
for
are
the message from our
fancy now.
sponsors, which are completely real and not at all made up. But actually, next we're going to talk to Andy Eppler, a local musician, mainstay Longmont scene, recently published a book. He mentioned something about an erotic film. Get on up here. I'll read your bio that I found. So Andy Eppler, Ando, is a hyper-prolific, multidisciplinary artist working in Colorado. Mr. Eppler was born and grew up in Lubbock, Texas in 1985, where he began his career as a songwriting and music producer. His artistic output includes, drink with the whole thing.
I'm about to turn 40, so it might be a long list.
Yeah, well, then it goes on, original music, publishing 3 art philosophy books, and writing and/or directing short films, 160 episodes of a web series called The Hippie Report. Saw some of those. You were in the bathtub at one point.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Just be careful with your social media presence, my good sir. Boulder County Tonight, da-da-da-da. Who wrote this?
Not me.
Was it not you?
No, but I would add all of that. That was amazing.
Yeah, no,
Tim, I think, probably. Tim's the best. I've worked with Tim a long time. We've been friends for a long time, and boy, I didn't realize he knew all that stuff I've done.
Yeah, and I thought it was written by you. I thought it was fun to painfully
We can
drag it
also
out.
technically add political cartoonist.
Yeah.
I did when Trump first ran. I did a series of cartoons called Trump's Christ, which was just
Oh yeah, I saw a couple
Donald
of those.
Trump dressed as Jesus, but Donald Trump quote, and then a Jesus quote at the bottom. Let people draw their own conclusions. You know? Award-winning erotic filmmaker and star. And
Is that what you do in the
Bathtub?
movie? No, in the bathtub. In the movie?
Very, very Kardashian.
I have been a long-time proponent for the First Amendment, of course, and I think like every artist should probably, consider themselves invested in that. That's why I feel so strongly about Longmont Public Media. I feel like it's such a great bastion for our local community's expression. But I feel like some of the most important expression you can have is going to be about sensitive topics and about topics that people don't necessarily want to hear about. That's some of the most important things people should hear about.
Well, I got one to start off with.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I was reading your social media, so I just you once said, I quote, "For years I just thought Buc-ee's was where rednecks took their sisters on their wedding anniversaries." But you said you were wrong. Your mind has been changed, and I'm just curious, what brought you around on Buc-ee's?
So, I've been waking up in Loveland a lot lately because I live on a little farm out there. And sometimes when I'm heading down to
Only
Denver.
sometimes you wake up in Loveland?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much do we want to know about him, right? Okay, so sometimes I'll be going down the highway and I'd see Buc-ee's, and they would be in Texas all the time or whatever. Yeah. And I never really, it's a gas station or whatever, so I never really took it that seriously. But I got not a sponsor, by the way, but like pretty good sandwiches for a gas station. And so, look, I was talking a lot of trash about Buc-ee's, and I said that, yeah, it's where rednecks took their sisters on their wedding anniversaries. And I was wrong-ish. I'm not saying it's not that, and I don't know where they are taking them if it's not there. Chili's, I guess? I don't know.
Do they have Chili's out there?
Oh, we got Chili's everywhere. We got rednecks. Oh, yes, sir.
That's okay. I didn't know that they were joined at the hip as such.
Well, I don't think Buc-ee's and Chili's are, but boy, if they ever got married, I'd go to that wedding.
What's the best grab at Buc-ee's?
I don't know. I eat their little squirrel sandwich. What is it? There's like a breakfast.
Squirrels.
Yeah, Buc-ee's a nice guy. He's like a squirrel, but he's got breakfast sandwiches. So I like the sausage sandwich, I guess.
Is squirrel, would that technically be like a sustainable regenerative type crop, or is that just...
I don't know, because it just depends how quick you can flip them, right? Because I think you need more than one squirrel for a decent squirrel sandwich. What do I know? I've been living in Colorado a long time. I've been in Texas for a while.
It's like when you go to Chipotle and they give you the double meat. It's like, 2, 3 squirrels?
Yeah, I want to have one of the chicken mole and one of the question mark, please. I'll take
Not
one
sure
of the
what that
Route
is.
66.
That tail looks a lot more rat-like when it's like that than I thought it would be. All right, so you're turning 40.
I thought I was going to get in so much more trouble when he was like, I've been looking at your social media stuff.
I tried to do some safer pulls.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, there were a few tub moments. We'll just gloss right past that because it's.
That's fair.
Is there anything you want to dive into? Splash tub humor.
I'm an activist, so I talk about itchy stuff, and I try and talk about it in an itchy way, so it makes you want to scratch it. You know what I mean? You're the one that's supposed to be doing the thinking when in a good art piece. You know what I mean? So I grew up Christian and was a professional full-time minister for a while, and am an ordained minister. And I find that there's a lot of popular culture that claims to have read the book, but they can't pass the book test. So I've been just posting little quotes about the book, about how Jesus is like, rich people don't go to heaven. And they're like, that's not what it says. Yeah, it says if you could squeeze a big animal through a little hole, maybe that would be how it works. But that's impossible, right? So that's what he's saying. So I think those kind of notes are important nowadays when the rich have sort of co-opted that religion.
Fair enough, yeah. Not getting the camel down on its knees to scrape through the eye of the needle.
It wouldn't matter. A needle's this big. And even if you're talking about like the entrance to a city, which is what they try and say that they're saying, maybe. But the point is, it's impossible. It's basically impossible is the message either way. So you can complain about how big the hole and how large the camel, and the rich people can save up to make even bigger needles and even smaller camels or whatever. But the truth is, what Jesus was trying to say, and how he said it a bunch of other times in the Gospels, of course, is that rich people are in their own way. So he says that if you got your reward here, you shouldn't expect one when you die. Look it up. So, it's not my book. I don't care. I'm not the guy. I don't care. But if you think it's your book, you should read it. Whatever.
It does help when you want to pass the written exam. So you said that you're turning 40 soon or have recently.
Yeah, in July.
And so in a similar vein to all this other, I'm a upstanding minister, you did say that gifts are not necessary, but drugs will be accepted discreetly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. What are we doing? Of course. Yeah, I have a long history in Lubbock and in Longmont, and Lubbock, Texas, where I'm from. Longmont's with the town that sort of adopted me. And in both towns, I've had to have certain boundaries around what I'll accept in a guitar case. When I'm down with the cowboys and stuff, it's dangerous to accept a friendly little drug gift or whatever because you can get in a lot of trouble, you know what I mean? In Colorado, it's a little more easy peasy on that level.
We're just going to take this off your hands. You get back on the road, sir.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so...
yeah, that's right. And if you know my mailing address, because we're friends, feel free to mail me something or drop me off something. We'll be doing an event at Bricks on July 7th at 7 p.m. 777. And we're going to be doing a little open mic thing for some community members. We're just going to be like playing each other's songs and that kind of stuff. And you could bring me drugs.
I'm going to go on record and just say side dish, and I assume LPM does not condone federal crimes where you mail.
Usually when I'm on, they run a disclaimer. So yeah, I'm sure that they've got that going.
We get the Chiron down here saying, just don't actually do any of that. Because it's most of that, there's some good stuff. I think it's a federal crime at that point. I'm not sure.
Every time I come on LPM, there's like a little scroll at the bottom of the screen. It's like, we've barely met this guy. Whatever. We met him in the parking lot, you know. Yeah, he's interviewing the people running for city council, but we've never met him before. You know, like whatever. So,
he seemed like a cool guy. We were both at the same stoplight, and he was like, "Oh, come on."
Hang on, real quick. How are you liking that venue over there at Bricks?
I love Bricks. Jennifer over there runs a great spot, and Miss Chrissy's Bistro. They're doing wonderful things for the local music scene in Longmont.
I've heard good things.
What is your favorite venue in town?
Oh, we don't talk like that.
Okay.
My favorite venue is anybody that will pay local musicians to express themselves.
I like money. Awesome.
And that happens to be most of our local venues.
Yeah.
Because that's how our community was sort of built. When I got here in 2009, there were two places to play. The corner where they now have the trash cans at Left Hand Brewing in the tasting room. I rocked that corner where those trash cans were. And then the Eagle Grill, which is like kind of a biker bar.
Oh, yeah.
I like that place too.
I was at that Dollar Tree today in that same center.
It's a hip Dollar Tree.
I recommend. It was chill.
It's a chill vibe over there.
No one was in there. It was awesome. It was tidy.
So that was like back in 2007 and 2009. And then I was up here, and my wife and I was married at the time, and we had a band called the Prairie Scholars. And we made it a real point because we wanted to live here. This is a wonderful town. And it really, honestly. And when I first toured here in 2007, just kind of discovering places, trying to escape Lubbock, Texas before they hang me or whatever. So I got up here and I found this beautiful community that was so sweet and kind and accepting and like excited to see what their own community brought to them. And the diverse opinions that were welcome. And so we moved up here, my wife and I, in 2009, and we made it a point for ourselves to start trying to connect the local entrepreneurial scene with the local art scene and teach them to kind of make money off of each other while they're both in these growth phases. And then everyone was so into that because they're already so happy to work with each other that like once we kind of like started making those connections, people like Tim Ostick came around and started being in that same team, and just like, I don't know, there became this wonderful community effort to sort of like let the tide come in and let all the boats come up, you know what I mean? So that's what I really love most about this town, and I feel like LPM is going to be even more the center of that kind of energy.
Tell your friends to become members.
Yeah, it's an excellent plug moment, right?
That's a definite plug.
Teachable moment, is that what we call those? Yeah, so I understand you don't think a lot about current American culture.
I think a lot about it, but I hate it.
Yeah, so you don't think much of because one quote that I was particularly taken with was, you think you've seen the low point of American culture, but then Subway comes out with nachos. Can you expound on any of that? Because, you know.
I mean, I think that piece of art speaks for itself. I mean,
So
you
it might
think
be a
things
nice
have gotten as
gluten-free
bad as they
option
could
over there.
get. You know, the economy's broken, the Nazis are coming and all this stuff. But then Subway's like, actually, we had this terrible idea. And we'd like to just show you how much worse actually it could be. You know, like, because like, if there's one thing you know for sure, it's that like, a bag of those little Doritos is not enough for a serving of nachos. That's something everyone intrinsically knows, okay? And then the other thing you know is that like if there's any toppings that you wouldn't want on nachos, it's everything they have at Subway.
Mayo, mustard, oil, vinegar, salt and pepper, onions.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Solid stuff.
Just like,
Do they sell them by
they're just
inches?
what's happening is
Do you get 6 to 12 inches of nachos in a go?
you can get 12 inches, but you're going to need 2 bags at least. It's a silly thing they're doing. What's happened is the capitalists have gotten so desperate that they're just walking around the Subway being like, what if we just take some of the salt packs and put them in with the straws? Does that make it cheaper, run better? No. How about we make take all these cold deli ingredients and tell people we're going to make nachos with them. They're terrorists. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, this cubed ham and water product on top of your nachos.
Terrorists.
Yeah. Delicious. Yeah, you also seem to have quite the affinity for perfumes and scents.
Oh, I love a good stink.
Yeah, no, you smell lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
noticed
can't
that
always
too. You
get it
smell
on the
great.
camera. No, it's
I got a touch
What
of
are you
the
wearing?
tism,
What is
and
it?
that's one of my special interests. Today I'm wearing a Ventus by Creed, which is sort of a basic. I wish I was wearing something better for you. I'm sorry. You can't smell it. What do you care? You don't-
now that we brought it up, yeah, because you said that you went pretty hard in your study of it a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And that day, you guessed a dude's perfume from 5 feet away.
I did. I freak
was the
people
quote?
out sometimes. I've got a little touch of the tism or whatever, and so like one of my special interests a couple years back was perfumes. I started like making them and collecting them, and I started doing like YouTube reviews of them and stuff. And well, you know, when they turned off the entire economy and sent all the lowlives home, all of us musicians had to find something to do. So
I would say that like scent reviews probably travel really well in a strictly video audio format.
yeah. It's sort of fun because it's like wine, sort of. It has sort of the same.
God, I bet you wish you could be drinking this. It is really good.
Yeah.
It's a process to find a new fragrance. I kind of went through that a few months ago, like just to find your signature one. You got to try it, and then you got to wear it for days, really, because it changes, and then your body chemistry, and you like the way it smells on someone else, and then you put it on you, and it's totally different, and it's like car shopping or something. You do it for a long time.
So I was out at Wild Cidery the other day, and I was playing some tunes, and I was talking to the owner or whatever, and I'm like, boy, I smell Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf. And a dude like 6 feet behind me goes, I'm like,
honey, we have to go.
yeah.
Thoughts on the Le Labo craze?
Oh, pass.
Oh, I like it.
I like it, but like it's so expensive, and nowadays like it's so hard to find a reason to spend that kind of money.
Yeah,
especially since
it's gotten more expensive. I mean, it wasn't even that bad when it's.
Well, and I just said I was wearing like a $200 perfume, so like I'm wearing like a sample version of it. You know what I mean? I'm actually destitutely poor. So there's another one called Club de Nuit by Armaf, which is actually a clone of Creed Aventus, and it smells, get this, a little nicer, and it's $30. There's no reason to really spend crazy money at this point on perfumes.
Website Dossier? What's the knockoff perfume website?
Armaf is the one that I like.
That is
Oh,
such
no,
a
the
weird
website.
name for
Not
anything.
a sponsor.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast today.
Yes, I have books and albums and all this stuff. Well, I don't know why I'm bringing up all this weird stuff. It doesn't have anything. I can't sell you any of the stuff I'm bringing to you right now. I have books and albums.
Yeah, did you want to talk about it? Should we just keep going on perfume and arm?
I feel like
off?
Christian Dior is overrated, except for like the Dior Homme line. And I also feel like when they took the lilac out of the most recent formulation, I really feel like they lost something.
I do. We just planted lilacs. Love them. Absolutely. Like it's
That's a
amazing-
real opinion.
No, I'm saying. You go buy a house and you're like, what do you want to plant here for the rest of your life? Like, I really like lilacs, so I'm gonna put that in. And it's like because I love them.
We like lilacs. It's like that kind of lipsticky smell that's in perfumes sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it's a hard sell there. Yeah, it's
Pretty,
like.
it can be nice, especially in a men's fragrance. The Dior Homme is it's very expensive. But
Do you have a distinction what you call perfume versus cologne? Is there like a?
Well,
hard
yes,
line?
of course, because that's a concentration question. There's cologne, and then there's perfume, and then there's like essentials and elixirs and these things.
Wow.
So it's a matter of
Cologne literally is stronger.
cologne's less strong actually. It's like the least strong.
It's
So you've
least
got like the eau
concentrated.
de toilette, and then you got like eau de parfum, which would be a thicker concentration of fragrance.
Does it get more viscous?
More viscous.
Thicker concentration.
So yeah, I like perfumes. If you'd like one, I can literally make you one. So whatever. Maybe I can sell
No,
something
make
like
me a
that.
Le Labo knockoff.
I probably could.
Need this. This is this unisex perfume that like took the world by storm. It's Santal 33. Is that what it is?
Oh yes. You know what you're talking
Which
about.
it's crazy because
So
I
good.
came in like, I've got another quote here about you and perfumes. Like I was gonna go hard on that, and she's like, no, and actually I've
No,
got just.
it's really good, and I got it as a gift from my friends. And when they bought it, it was even less than when I ran out of it and had to go back and get more. And it was like a $350 bottle. If I was like, nope, I just no amount of
It's
money
just
can
like-
I just can't. Nope.
And honestly, especially if you're like if you are like a cis het man and you're out looking for like ladies or whatever, everybody else that matches your description is wearing a fragrance from the grocery store. Aren't you? Aren't you? That's all I'm saying.
If anything.
Don't neglect Walgreens.
No, it's fine. That's fine. If you're wearing like Axe body spray or something like that, I just like think, that's actually doing your competition a favor. Just an opinion.
All right.
I'm
What
a
do we have?
hedonist because I believe in the real world. We talked about like spiritual things earlier, books from thousands of years ago about like rumors or whatever. At least the things that you can point at exist and can like inspire you in the real time. Something like a nice fragrance can really change your day, actually.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess one final question: did you ever find a place to get a Smashburger style breakfast sausage sandwich?
Wow, you went deep on my.
No, I read at least the last year your
This
stuff.
is
yeah.
amazing. Boy, and really, I really want to just stop and congratulate you on finding such inoffensive material. Like, honestly, I'm like really
There was
kind of like impressed. And
there was a lot of Andy
flattered.
Eppler's tub talks that I was just like, You know, they got the tub and the tub X or whatever going on. I'm like, we'll just go over here and go to the boomer book, as you call it, and just pull from there.
I did, I think there should be a smash version of a breakfast sandwich. I'm just putting that out there. We're just gonna all think about it right now. Let's do a magical experiment, shall we? This is how the hippies call this manifesting, okay? We're just gonna all imagine it's like a smash burger, but it's a classic sausage sandwich, okay? Let's just all imagine it right now. Okay, there it is. You at home, are you doing it? Do it. Come on. All right. There it is. Beautiful. Oh, that seems like it would be good. There. Now that we've all put it into the ether, perhaps it will trickle back and crystallize into our reality.
I got like a little. If you ever are in Charlottesville, are they in is Bodo's in other places? If you're ever in Charlottesville, Virginia, okay, you go to Bodo's Bagels, and they make a sausage breakfast sandwich it's about like what you're talking, everything bagel.
I just think that's sweet.
Yeah.
You know, and like with the crispy, you know what I'm talking about? I feel like I got a good gospel here.
I mean, honestly, we're treading like ground that's a lot less, some of the earlier stuff. This is easy. I don't think a lot of people are going to get up in arms with this one.
No. I mean, I think I've been making art since I was like 18, basically full-time the whole time. I'm about to turn 40, and my specialties have been politics and religion and sexuality. Because like it seems like important to make art about that stuff. Because how many songs do you need to hear about? Like my girlfriend doesn't like me anymore. Like I don't like you anymore either. Give us a song about something else.
Definitely, I would add to that list that you could maybe add money.
Oh, yeah.
It's just money, like the things we all don't want to talk about.
Man, instead of money, we should talk about like empathy, because the money thing is a problem, but it will solve itself if we can access empathy. You won't hoard finances from your community if you have empathy. That money thing, it is a problem. I think it's a symptom. It is the root of many evils in the Bible or whatever. That's not all the evils, right? But it's many, and we'll take many. You know what I mean? I think lack of empathy is your main root cause for not only a lot of your social issues that we're having, the lack of grace with each other, the inability to have a decent conversation and end it by being neighbors at the end of it, lack of empathy. The problem with our billionaires pretending like the world is a video game, piracy-based video game where you're supposed to take everything from everybody, lack of empathy. That's my opinion. Just an opinion from a hippie, who cares, or whatever, but whatever. Take the medicine if it seems like medicine.
Can I say what I've said for like hundreds of weeks now and say thanks to Andy Eppler?
Thanks to Andy Eppler and to David Cutter Music. Yeah. Yeah, because Andy does our theme music for the show. Like he's done the opener, and he said before we started, he's like, maybe I'll do some little custom diddle-oo for you.
Yeah, because you guys are using just a track, but I'll make something for you. I'll make something for you.
Yeah.
I'll make you something.
It's a banger.
Actually, wouldn't it be funny if, and whatever, we should talk about this off mic. They can edit this. Wouldn't it be funny if the community, like this band or whatever, they could write it like a 20-second jingle or something? You have a bunch of people that write the theme song for your show.
Yeah. How's everybody going to know who we are if we changed it up?
That's right. Oh, gosh.
I don't know if people ever listen twice in a row, so it's probably not an issue.
All right.
Yeah, so I think we got to do some final thoughts here on all of this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks to Andy Eppler.
Thank you. I'm glad I met him because, like, honestly, we've been using his song
saying his name for
to open our
so
podcast
long.
for like
That was my first.
6-7 years. Never met him. Love it. That's amazing. And I didn't know there was so many thoughts to be had about perfume. I'm the kind of guy that like uses the like scent-free stuff in the washing machine.
That's different.
Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, just want to shout out to everybody that helped make this happen, everybody that came here tonight. Like, this has been a ton of fun. I'm so excited. I had an absolute blast. So shout out to Andy, Tribonacci Trio, who we'll have back up here in just a sec if you guys want to come on back up. To the production crew, Aldo, Eric, the audience, and remember that we are doing a member drive. So get out a little bit of money. It doesn't need to be a lot. You can give them a lot. You can give them all you want. You can give us some too. But really, we're here for them. Well, I wouldn't say no. But anyway, it's an awesome thing. You can get some swag. You can do all sorts of great stuff. They probably won't force you to stay in the basement. So yeah, come up, use this. Avail yourself of such a wonderful resource. We've got longmontpublicmedia.org/member drive? I don't think that's right. Member drive we'll go with.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any similar resource to a community as Longmont Public Media. In
No.
Boulder, which supposedly has so many creatives, there's nothing like this. In Boulder, this is a really unique asset that we have as an offering here. So thanks, Longmont Public Media. This is super fun. Once again, Tribonacci Trio!
And now they're here to play Brighter Every Day.
Can we promote our next show really quick, if that would be all right? Great. Thank you so much. So we're a 4-piece trio. We love to exceed expectations right out the gate. We're the Tribonacci Trio. We're a Longmont-founded bluegrass band, and our next show is going to be June 21st. It's a benefit concert for Recovery Cafe, and it's going to be in the Prospect neighborhood in front of the park. You can bring chairs, and we can just do all of this again, just with a full 2-hour set. We'd love to see you guys.
Thank you.